So our last example is taking a look at a word problem, and it's not as bad as you think. So we're starting with this function that represents time in days, so that's our D variable, is time in days, and A of D represents the number of albums sold that day. What's the maximum number of albums that were sold in a single day? Sorry, I should have been more specific. All right, so when you hear the word maximum, you should be thinking vertex. So step one, determine if the graph opens up or down. Looking at our function, the A value, the coefficient of our D squared term, is negative, so our graph opens down. And then determine if the vertex is a maximum or a minimum. If the parabola opens down, the vertex will be a maximum. Determine if the x or y coordinate of the vertex will answer the question. So the x coordinate, in this case the D coordinate, is the time in days. The question is, what's the maximum number of albums sold? So A of D is number of albums sold. So it's the y coordinate of the vertex that will answer our question. So now we need to find the vertex in order to answer the question. We can't jump to the y coordinate. We have to find that x coordinate first. This is in standard form, in this case our D coordinate, equals negative b over 2a, and that gives us 45. So on the 45th day, that's when they sold the maximum number of albums. What was the maximum number of albums? Substitute 45 in for D. And evaluate. I got 182,250 albums. Remember, when you're doing a word problem, there's context, which means your answers should have labels. And your U-try question.